The blood on Min-ho's collar wasn't his own, but the empire crumbling around him, that was all him. 6 months ago, he controlled half of Seoul's underground, untouchable, unstoppable, until the betrayal that left him bleeding out in a safe house with nothing but enemies closing in. Then she walked through that door, a black woman with a mop in one hand and secrets in her eyes that would either save him or finish what his enemies started. Welcome to K-Afro Stories, besties. Please like, share, and subscribe. Kang Min-ho isn't used to waiting. He built his empire on split-second decisions, on reading people before they could read him, on knowing exactly when to strike and when to vanish. But now he's trapped in this rotting safe house in Itaewon, his shoulder bandaged with strips torn from bedsheets, his gun empty, his phone dead, and his options narrowing with every hour that passes. The betrayal came from his second-in-command, Young-woo, the man he'd trusted since they were teenagers running protection rackets in Gangnam. 3 months of careful planning, feeding false information, moving money into offshore accounts Min-ho couldn't trace. By the time Min-ho realized what was happening, half his organization had already switched sides. The attack came at his private club, bullets tearing through velvet curtains and shattering champagne glasses. Min-ho barely made it out, his driver taking 3 rounds to the chest while getting him to this safe house, one of 5 locations only his inner circle knew about. Which means Young-woo knows about it too. Which means this isn't safety. It's a cage. The door opens at exactly 6 in the morning. Min-ho's hand goes to the knife tucked against his spine, his body coiled despite the pain screaming through his shoulder. But the woman who enters isn't an assassin. She's carrying a yellow mop bucket and wearing a cleaning company uniform that's 2 sizes too big, her dark brown skin catching the thin light filtering through the boarded windows. She freezes when she sees him, her eyes going wide, and for a moment neither of them moves. She's beautiful in a way that makes his breath catch. All curves and full lips and thick curls pulled back into a ponytail, but it's her eyes that hold him. Dark and assessing, like she's calculating a dozen different outcomes before deciding which mask to wear. He knows that look. He invented that look. "Wrong room," she says finally, her voice steady despite her white-knuckled grip on the mop handle. American accent, probably East Coast. "I'll just—" "How did you get in here?" Min-ho's voice comes out rougher than he intends, raw from dehydration and blood loss. "This building is supposed to be condemned." She hesitates, and he watches her decide how much truth to give him. The cleaning company has a contract for the whole block. Weekly maintenance on the empty properties. Her gaze flicks to his shoulder. The blood-stained shirt, the knife still in his hand. "You need a hospital." "Can't go to a hospital." He should be worried about witnesses, about loose ends, about whether she'll run straight to the police or worse, to Young-woo's people. But something in her face makes him pause. The way she hasn't screamed or bolted. The way she's still standing there, evaluating him like he's a problem to solve, rather than a threat to escape. "You always clean buildings at 6 in the morning? You always bleed out in condemned safe houses?" She sets the mop bucket down slowly, deliberately, keeping her movements visible. "Smart. I'm going to reach into my pocket. I have a first aid kit. The real kind, not the cheap drugstore version." Why would a cleaning woman carry a real first aid kit? Her lips quirk, almost a smile. Why would a man in a $7,000 suit be hiding in a place like this? She pulls out a compact medical kit, the kind with surgical scissors and quick clot gauze, the kind you don't buy at the corner store. "My name is Ngozi, and you're going to pass out in about 10 minutes if you don't let me look at that shoulder." Min-ho has built his life on reading people, on trusting his instincts about who will betray him and who will bleed for him. Every alarm in his head is screaming that this woman is dangerous, that she's too calm, too prepared, too deliberate for this to be chance. But she's also right. The room is starting to tilt, his vision graying at the edges, and pride won't stop a bullet wound from going septic. He lets the knife drop to his side. You know how to use that? Field medic training, Iraq, 2 tours. Her hands are steady as she cuts away his shirt, professional and impersonal, but he sees her jaw tighten when she gets a clear look at the wound. Through and through. You're lucky. Another inch and it would have clipped your subclavian artery. Doesn't feel lucky. But he watches her work, the efficient way she cleans the wound, the practiced pressure of her hands as she packs it with gauze. She smells like cocoa butter and something sharper. Antiseptic maybe, or gun oil. Why are you really here, Ngozi? She doesn't look up, focused on wrapping his shoulder. Would you believe divine intervention? No. Smart man. She ties off the bandage and sits back on her heels, finally meeting his eyes. Her expression is unreadable, that mask firmly in place. You're Kang Min-ho. I've seen your picture. Half of Seoul's organized crime, 3 murders the prosecutors couldn't make stick. Reputation for killing traitors slowly. She pauses, her head tilting slightly. Jung-woo put a price on your head. 200 million won. Dead preferably, but alive works too. The world goes very still. Minho's hand finds the knife again, his body moving before his brain catches up, but she's faster. Her hand closes around his wrist, stopping the blade inches from her throat, her grip like iron. Easy, she murmurs, and there's something in her voice that makes his skin crawl. Not fear, amusement. If I wanted you dead, you'd already be gone. I had 10 different chances while patching you up. Then what do you want? That depends. She releases his wrist slowly, deliberately, showing him she's not afraid of him, or his knife, or his reputation. Jung-woo is offering 200 million for you, but I'm guessing you'd pay more than that for information on where he's hiding your money, who betrayed you, and how to take back what's yours. Her smile is sharp and dangerous. So here's my question, Mr. Kang. Do I collect Jung-woo's bounty, or do I help you collect his head? Min-ho stares at her, his mind racing through possibilities. She could be telling the truth, a mercenary playing both sides for the highest bidder. Or she could be Jung-woo's assassin, playing an elaborate game to get information before she kills him. Or something else entirely. Something more complicated that he can't see yet. Why would you help me? Because Jung-woo killed someone I cared about. And because helping you pays better than killing you. She stands, putting distance between them, and Min-ho notices for the first time that she moves like a predator, balanced and ready. I want 300 million won. Sanctuary for 3 months, no questions asked, and after that, I disappear forever. You get your empire back, I get enough money to vanish properly. And if I don't agree, then I walk out of here and make a phone call. Her eyes are flat, emotionless. Your choice. Every instinct Min-ho has is screaming. This woman is a viper, a mercenary who admitted she'd kill him for the right price, and trusting her is insane. But she also just saved his life when she could have let him bleed out. And if she's telling the truth about having information on Jung-woo, she's his only chance at survival. More than that, something in him responds to her, to the danger she represents, to the way she looks at him like an equal instead of prey. Deal. But if you betray me, you'll kill me slowly. I know. She offers him her hand. 3 months, Mr. Kang, that's all I need. Try not to die before then. He takes her hand, her skin warm against his, and feels that electric current snap between them. Dangerous. She's so dangerous. And the worst part is, he can't tell if the danger comes from the knife she probably has hidden, or from the way his body responds to her proximity. Where do we start? First, we get you out of Seoul. I have a car 2 blocks away. We drive to Socho, Take a fishing boat to an island off the coast. You'll be safe there while you heal and I gather the intel you need. And if this is a trap? She looks up at him, and for just a moment her mask slips, showing him something raw underneath. Then we both die. Because if Youngwoo finds us, he'll kill us both just to be sure. She pauses. So I guess you better hope I'm telling the truth. The drive to Socho is 4 hours of tension. Ngozi's hands steady on the wheel while Min-ho drifts in and out of consciousness, one hand on the gun in his lap. Every time he surfaces, she's there, glancing over to check on him, and he can't tell if she's making sure he's alive or making sure he's still controllable. At a rest stop, she helps him to the bathroom, then presses water and pills into his hands without comment. She shed the cleaning uniform for jeans and a black t-shirt that hugs her curves, and Min-ho finds himself staring at the elegant line of her neck, wondering if she's planning to snap his, or if the attraction burning through him is mutual, or just another manipulation. "Stop looking at me like that," she says, without turning her head. "Like what?" "Like, you're trying to decide if you want to kiss me or kill me." Now she does glance over, one eyebrow raised. "Fair warning, I'm not easy to kill, and the kissing would probably be a bad idea for both of us." "Why?" "Because we're using each other to survive, and mixing that with anything else is how people end up with knives in their backs." But her eyes linger on his mouth for just a second too long before she looks back at the road, and Min-ho feels that current between them intensify. She wants him. He can see it in the way her hands tighten on the wheel, the flush creeping up her neck. The question is whether she'll act on it, or whether she'll shoot him the moment he's no longer useful. The fishing boat is exactly what she promised, small and anonymous. The island is even smaller, just a rocky outcrop with a single house perched on the cliff overlooking the East Sea. Inside it's sparse but clean, 2 bedrooms and a kitchen and windows that show nothing but water in every direction. Ngozi helps him to the larger bedroom, her touch careful but impersonal, and Min-ho catches her wrist before she can pull away. "Why did you really save me?" he asks quietly. She goes very still, her pulse hammering under his fingers. For a long moment she doesn't answer. But then she says, "Because you remind me of someone I lost. Someone who taught me that monsters aren't always evil. They're just doing what they have to do to survive." She pulls free gently. "Sleep. You're safe here. For now." "Are you going to kill me, Ngozi?" She pauses in the doorway, her back to him. "Ask me again in 3 months. Maybe by then I'll know the answer." Then she's gone, leaving him alone with his racing heart and the certainty that he's either made the best decision of his life or signed his own death warrant. Min-ho wakes to darkness and the sound of Ngozi speaking quietly on the phone in rapid Korean. He sits up slowly, his hand going to the knife under his pillow. Her tone is clinical, detached, and for a moment his blood runs cold. Then her words register. She's talking about Youngwoo, about account numbers and safehouse locations, about timing the attack for maximum damage. She's not betraying him. She's planning, working, keeping her end of the bargain. He relaxes slightly, but doesn't put down the knife. She ends the call and turns to find him watching. "You're awake. Good. We have a situation." "What kind of situation?" "Youngwoo knows you're alive. Someone saw us leaving Seoul." She crosses to him with water and more pills. "He's escalated the bounty. 300 million for you now, 150 million for me." Min-ho takes the pills, studying her face. "Lot of money. You could just kill me now, collect, and be set for life." "I could." She meets his eyes, unflinching. 450 million one total if I bring you in. That's more than you're paying me." She sits on the edge of the bed, close enough that he could grab her, close enough that she could grab him first. "So I'll ask you again, Min-ho. Do you trust me?" "No." The word is honest, brutal. But I don't have a choice. Something flickers in her expression. Hurt, maybe, or respect for his honesty. Fair enough. Then let me give you a reason to trust me. She pulls out her phone, showing him a series of files. Young-woo's accounts, the names of everyone who betrayed you, the location of his main safehouse in Songdo. Everything you need to destroy him. She sets the phone on the bed between them. This is yours. Free and clear. If I was going to betray you, I wouldn't give you this. Min-ho stares at the information, his mind spinning. She's right. If she wanted the bounty, she wouldn't arm him with the tools for revenge. Unless this is an even more elaborate trap. Unless she's earning his trust so she can destroy him more completely. Later. He looks up at her, at those dark eyes that show him nothing, and makes a choice. Show me how to use this. Help me plan the attack. And when it's over, I'll give you your money and your sanctuary. No questions asked. And if I decide I want more than that? The question hangs between them, loaded with possibility and danger. Min-ho reaches out slowly, giving her time to pull away, and cups her face with his good hand. Her skin is soft, her breath hitching, and he can feel her pulse racing. Then you'll have to decide if I'm worth the risk of keeping around. He leans in, his lips brushing her ear. Because I still don't know if you're going to save me or kill me, Ngozi. And until I do, I can't decide if I want to keep you or eliminate the threat. She shudders, her hands fisting in his shirt, and for a moment they're balanced on a knife's edge. Then she pulls back, putting careful distance between them. 3 months, she says, her voice rough. In 3 months we'll both know what we are to each other. Until then, we survive. We plan. We make Young-woo pay. Agreed. But Min-ho watches her leave, his body still burning from her proximity, and knows it's already too late. Whether she saves him or kills him, Ngozi has gotten under his skin in a way no one else ever has. And that might be the most dangerous thing of all. The next 3 days are a careful dance of trust and suspicion. Ngozi proves herself again and again, showing him intelligence that could only come from deep access to Young-woo's organization, teaching him the guard rotations and security systems and weak points he'd need to take back his empire. But she also keeps secrets, taking calls she won't explain, disappearing for hours at a time, returning with supplies and information, and no explanation of where she got them. Min-ho heals under her competent care, his shoulder knitting together, his strength returning, and with it the ability to defend himself if she turns on him. They work in close proximity, leaning over maps and blueprints, their bodies brushing, their eyes meeting over screens, and the tension between them ratchets higher with every hour. Attraction and danger bleeding together until he can't tell which is which. On the second night, Min-ho wakes to find Ngozi standing at his bedroom window, silhouetted against the moonlight, a phone pressed to her ear. He can't hear what she's saying, but her posture is tense, defensive. When she hangs up and turns, she startles to find him awake. "Who was that?" he asks quietly. "No one you need to worry about." But her hand goes to her hip, where he knows she keeps a gun, and the movement is instinctive, protective. Min-ho sits up slowly, keeping his hands visible. "Ngozi, who was it?" She's silent for a long moment, weighing something. Then she crosses to him, sitting on the edge of his bed with careful distance between them. "My handler, CIA. They want to know where I am, what I'm doing, whether you're still useful or whether they should cut their losses and eliminate both of us." The words hit like ice water. "And what did you tell them?" "I told them you're my asset now, that I'm close to getting information on the triad money laundering they've been chasing for 2 years, that killing you would compromise the entire operation." She looks at him, her eyes dark and unreadable. "I lied to my government for you, Min-ho, so maybe you can start trusting me a little bit." Or maybe you're lying to me now. But even as he says it, Min-ho knows he doesn't fully believe it. There's something in her face, something raw and desperate that he recognizes because he feels it too. This need to be seen, to be trusted, to matter to someone beyond what you can do for them. Maybe I am. She stands, moving toward the door, but Min-ho catches her wrist. Stay. The word comes out rougher than he intends, more vulnerable. Please. Ngozi goes very still. That's a bad idea. I know. He tugs her gently back toward the bed. Stay anyway. She should say no. Should put distance between them. Keep this professional. Maintain the boundaries that keep them both safe. Instead, she lets him pull her down beside him, her body curving into his side, her head resting on his good shoulder. They lie there in the darkness, not speaking, just breathing together. And Min-ho feels something in his chest crack open. He's spent his entire life trusting no one, needing no one, keeping everyone at arm's length. But this woman with her secrets and her scars and her dangerous hands makes him want things he has no right to want. Safety, connection, home. I'm scared. Ngozi whispers into the darkness. I'm scared that I'm making the wrong choice, that trusting you will get me killed, that wanting you is the stupidest thing I've ever done. I'm scared too. Min-ho's arm tightens around her. But I'm more scared of what happens if you disappear. If I never figure out whether you were real or just another person using me. She tilts her head up to look at him, and in the moonlight he can see tears tracking down her face. I'm real, Min-ho. This is real. I don't know what it means or where it goes, but I've never felt like this about anyone except David, and he's gone, and you're here, and I can't. Her voice breaks. I can't lose someone else. I can't. Min-ho cups her face, wiping away her tears with his thumbs. Then don't lose me. Don't betray me. Don't take Youngwoo's money and run. Just stay. Be here with me. Let this be real. And if Youngwoo finds us, if my people come for me, if this all falls apart, then we fall apart together. He kisses her forehead, her tear-stained cheeks, the corner of her mouth. I'm all in, Ngozi. Tell me you are too. She answers by kissing him, hard and desperate, and full of everything they've been holding back. Min-ho rolls her beneath him, ignoring the protest from his shoulder, needing her closer, needing to prove this is real. She arches into him, her hands everywhere, pulling at his clothes, and when he finally sinks into her, they both gasp like they've been drowning and just found air. He moves slow despite the urgency screaming through him, watching her face, learning what makes her gasp and tremble. And when she comes apart beneath him, her nails raking down his back, his name on her lips like a prayer, Min-ho knows with absolute certainty that he's lost. Whether she saves him or destroys him, he's hers now, completely and irrevocably. After, they lie tangled together, breathing hard, and Ngozi traces the scars on his chest with gentle fingers. I won't betray you, she whispers. I need you to know that. Whatever happens tomorrow, whatever comes. After, I choose you. I choose this. Promise me, Min-ho demands, his hand closing over hers. Promise me this is real. It's real. She kisses him softly. I'm terrified, and I don't know if we'll survive this, but it's real, Min-ho. You're real to me. He pulls her closer, breathing in the scent of her, trying to memorize this feeling in case everything falls apart. Tell me about David, he says quietly. Tell me about the man you lost. Ngozi is quiet for so long he thinks she won't answer. Then she says, he was good, truly good, in a way I've never been. He believed in justice, in doing the right thing even when it cost him. He made me want to be better. She swallows hard. Youngwoo killed him because of me, because I brought David into my world. into the darkness, and it swallowed him whole. So yes, I want revenge, but I also want to make sure his death meant something, that we actually stop the triads, stop the money, laundering, stop men like Youngwoo from destroying good people. I'm not a good person, Ngozi. I know. She looks up at him, her eyes fierce. But you could be. You could choose to be something other than what Youngwoo made you. And maybe that's David's real legacy. Not revenge, but redemption. The words settle over Min-ho like a weight. He's spent so long being the monster, being the thing people fear, that he forgot there might be another option, another path. What if I can't be redeemed? Then I'll love you anyway. The words are simple, devastating. I'll love the monster and the man and everything in between. And maybe that's enough. Min-ho kisses her again, slow and tender, trying to pour everything he feels into the connection between them. Love. He's never said it to anyone, never felt it for anyone. But this woman who walked into his life with a mop and secrets has cracked him open, shown him what it feels like to be seen. Completely and chosen anyway. I love you too, he whispers against her lips. God help us both. But I love you too. They fall asleep wrapped around each other, and for the first time in months, Min-ho doesn't dream of betrayal and blood. He dreams of a future, of a small house by the ocean, of Ngozi's laugh filling the rooms, of something that looks almost like peace. He wakes to the sound of voices, multiple voices, outside the house, closing in. Min-ho is on his feet instantly, gun in hand, his body moving on pure instinct. Beside him, Ngozi is already awake, already armed, her face set in grim lines. How many? He asks quietly. At least 6. Jungwoo's people. She moves to the window, peering out carefully. They found us. I don't know how, but they found us. Min-ho's mind races through options. They're outnumbered, trapped, with nowhere to run. The island is too small to hide on, the boat is too far to reach. This is it. The moment where he finds out if Ngozi is real or if she's been playing him all along. Did you call them? She whips around, her eyes blazing. Are you seriously asking me that right now? After everything? Did you call them? His voice is hard, cold, every defensive wall slamming back into place. No. She crosses to him, getting in his face, fearless even with his gun between them. I didn't call them. I didn't betray you. But if you don't believe me, then shoot me now, because we don't have time for this. Min-ho stares at her, searching her face for any hint of deception. All he sees is fury and hurt and fear. Real fear. She's not faking this. She's as trapped as he is. He lowers the gun. Then we fight our way out. Together. Relief flashes across her face, quick and devastating. Together. She tosses him a tactical vest from her bag, already strapping on her own. There's a cliff on the north side, 30-foot drop into water. If we can make it, there, we swim around to the east side where I hit a backup boat. And the 6 men with guns? We go through them. Her smile is sharp and dangerous. You wanted to know if I'm on your side, Min-ho? Watch me work. They move through the house like shadows, using the layout to their advantage. The first man comes through the front door, and Ngozi drops him with a silent shot between the eyes, her movements fluid and precise. The second and third come together through the kitchen, and Min-ho takes them both, muscle memory from years of violence carrying him through despite his healing shoulder. They fight in perfect synchronization, covering each other's blind spots, anticipating each other's moves. 4 down, 2 to go. The last 2 are smarter, staying outside, using the terrain as cover. Min-ho and Ngozi press against the back wall, breathing hard, ammunition running low. On 3 we run for the cliff, Ngozi says. Don't stop, Don't look back. Just run. What about you? I'll be right behind you. But there's something in her voice that makes his blood run cold. Something final. Ngozi. 1. She kisses him hard and fast. 2. She shoves him toward the back door. 3. Then she's moving, laying down covering fire, drawing the last 2 shooters' attention while Min-ho runs for the cliff. He can hear bullets impacting behind him, can hear Ngozi's gun clicking empty, can hear her curse and switch to hand combat. Every instinct screams at him to go back, to help her, to die with her if it comes to that. But she told him to run and he trusts her. Trusts that she knows what she's doing. Trusts that she'll follow. Min-ho reaches the cliff and doesn't hesitate, throwing himself over the edge into open air. The water hits like concrete, driving the air from his lungs, but he surfaces gasping and immediately looks back. Ngozi is running full speed toward the edge, one of Youngwoo's men right behind her. She reaches the cliff and jumps, and for a moment she's suspended in the air, beautiful and fierce and completely his. Then the bullet catches her in the side, spinning her midair, and she hits the water wrong, disappearing beneath the surface. No! Min-ho is swimming before he's conscious of the decision, diving under, searching frantically in the dark water. His lungs are burning, his shoulders screaming, but he doesn't stop. Can't stop. Won't lose her like this. His hand closes on fabric and he drags her up, breaking the surface with her limp body in his arms. Blood is spreading through the water, too much blood, and her eyes are closed. Ngozi. He's swimming for the backup boat, pure adrenaline keeping him moving. Don't you dare die on me, don't you dare. They reach the boat and he hauls her up, his hands shaking as he checks her pulse. Still there, weak, but there. The bullet caught her in the side, below the ribs, and he packs the wound with shaking hands, using everything she taught him about field medicine. She's unconscious, her breathing shallow, and Min-ho has never been so terrified in his life. He gets the boat started and opens the throttle, racing back toward the mainland, toward help, toward anything that might save her. His phone is waterlogged, but he manages to get it working long enough to make one call. To the one person he knows who might help, who owes him enough to not ask questions. His old friend Tae-young, a surgeon who works at a private clinic in Busan. I'm coming in with a gunshot victim. Have the OR ready. The 2-hour trip takes 90 minutes, Min-ho pushing the boat to its limits. Ngozi drifts in and out of consciousness, whispering his name, clutching his hand. Don't leave me, she gasps at one point. Never. He kisses her forehead. You're stuck with me, remember? You promised. Promised, she echoes, and then her eyes close again. They reach Busan, and Tae-young is waiting at his private dock. Just like Min-ho knew he would be. They get Ngozi into surgery within minutes, Tae-young working with grim efficiency while Min-ho paces outside, still dripping seawater, still covered in blood. 6 hours. The surgery takes 6 hours. And when Tae-yang finally emerges, exhausted but smiling, Min-ho can breathe again. She's going to make it, Tae-yang says. The bullet missed everything vital. She'll need rest and antibiotics. But she's strong. She'll recover. Min-ho doesn't remember crossing the room, doesn't remember his knees giving out. But suddenly he's on the floor, his head in his hands, shaking with relief and reaction. Tae-yang grips his shoulder. She must be special, this woman. I've never seen you like this. She is. Min-ho looks up at his old friend. She's everything. They keep Ngozi at the clinic for 3 days, Min-ho never leaving her side. He's there when she wakes up, groggy and in pain but alive, so beautifully alive. You came back for me, she whispers. Always. He takes her hand, threading their fingers together. I told you. We fall apart together or not at all. Jungwoo's men. Dead. All of them. Minho's voice is cold. And now we have their phones, their communications. I know where Jungwoo is hiding. I know everything. Ngozi's eyes sharpen despite the pain medication. Then we end this. We finish what we started. You need to heal first. I'll heal after. She struggles to sit up, wincing. Minho, if we don't move now, he'll disappear. He knows his men failed. He'll be scared, scrambling, making mistakes. This is our chance. She's right, and he knows it. Jungwoo is vulnerable now, exposed. If they wait, he'll dig in deeper, become untouchable again. But the thought of putting Ngozi in danger again, of risking her after he just almost lost her, makes Minho's chest tight with fear. I can't lose you. You won't. She cups his face, forcing him to look at her. We do this together, like we've done everything else. You trust me now, don't you? He does. Completely. She took a bullet for him, led Jungwoo's men away so he could escape, and now she's lying in a hospital bed willing to risk everything to help him finish this. She's real. She chose him, and he chooses her right back. I trust you. With everything. Then let's go kill the man who tried to destroy us both. They leave the clinic 2 days later, Ngozi moving slowly but determined. The intel from Jungwoo's men leads them to a warehouse in Incheon, where Jungwoo is hiding with the last of his loyal soldiers. Minho has already used the evidence Ngozi gathered to destroy Jungwoo's remaining operations, turning his own people against him, freezing his accounts, making him a pariah in the underworld. Now all that's left is the man himself. They approach at dawn, just the two of them, armed and ready. Minho kicks in the door and Jungwoo is there, looking old suddenly, diminished, all his arrogance stripped away. 5 men surround him, guns raised, but they're scared. They know they're on the losing side. You should have stayed dead, Jungwoo spits, but his voice shakes. You should have killed me better. Minho raises his gun, finger on the trigger, ready to end this. But Ngozi's hand on his arm stops him. Police are 2 minutes out, she says quietly, her eyes on Jungwoo. You kill him now. You're a murderer on camera. She nods toward the security system, the red lights blinking. You let them take him. He rots in prison with all the evidence we gathered. He loses everything. His money, his power, his freedom. Isn't that better than a quick death? Minho hesitates. Every instinct screams for blood, for the satisfaction of watching Jungwoo die. But then he thinks about what Ngozi said about redemption, about being something other than the monster. He thinks about the future they could have if he makes a different choice. He lowers the gun. You're not worth it, he tells Jungwoo. You're already dead. You just don't know it yet. Sirens fill the air. Jungwoo's men drop their weapons, hands up, and Jungwoo himself seems to collapse inward, knowing it's over. Minho and Ngozi walk out into the sunrise, leaving the ruins of his old life behind them. Her hand finds his, threading their fingers together, and Minho realizes he's smiling. Really smiling, maybe for the first time in years. Now what? Ngozi asks. Now we disappear. Minho pulls her close, careful of her healing wound. I know a place in Jeju. Small house by the ocean. No one for miles. We could go there. Start over. Be whoever we want to be. What about your empire? Let it burn. He kisses her forehead. I don't need an empire. I just need you. She smiles, and it's like the sun breaking through clouds. Jeju sounds perfect. 3 months later, Minho wakes to the sound of waves and the smell of coffee. Ngozi is in the kitchen of their small house, wearing one of his shirts and nothing else. Her hand resting unconsciously on the slight swell of her belly. She's pregnant, 3 months along, a surprise that turned into a miracle. Minho slides his arms around her from behind, pressing a kiss to her shoulder. Good morning, Mrs. Kang. She laughs and leans back against him. We're not married yet. Yet, being the important word, he turns her in his arms, dropping to one knee right there in their tiny kitchen. Marry me, Ngozi, not because we're having a baby or because we saved each other. Marry me because I love you, because you walked into my life when I had nothing and gave me everything. Because when I think about the future, the only thing I see is you. Tears stream down her face as she pulls him up, kissing him with everything she has. Yes, she gasps against his mouth. Yes, Min-ho, yes to all of it. They marry on the beach 3 weeks later, just the two of them, and an elderly officiant who asks no questions. Min-ho slides a simple gold band on her finger and promises to love her, protect her, choose her every day for the rest of his life. And when Ngozi promises the same, looking at him with those dark eyes that once calculated whether to save him or kill him, but now just show love, Min-ho knows he's finally home. They walk back to their house, hand in hand, the sun setting over the ocean, their baby growing between them. The blood on his collar is long washed away. The empire is gone. Jung-woo is rotting in prison where he belongs. But Kang Min-ho has everything he needs right here, in the curve of Ngozi's smile, in the life they're building together, in the choice they made to save each other when the whole world said they should destroy each other. Instead, she changed his life in seconds, walking through that door with a mop in one hand and secrets in her eyes. And he'll spend the rest of his life being grateful that she chose to save him instead of finishing what his enemies started.